Greetings, I'm John Phillips, and this is Up or Down, and I can already warn you, this one's going to be a doozy. Should nudity be allowed as part of a college exam? Another Republican has hinted about running for president, and after a few accidents, should the brakes be placed on self-driving vehicles? All this and much more will be judged with a thumbs up or a thumbs down by our panel. They are stand-up comic and commentator Mr. Steven Cruiser, and PJTV contributor Scott Ott, who joins us from his home studio in Dallas, Texas. As you can see, both of them have their thumbs ready to go, so let's go ahead and light this candle. Our first topic involves UC San Diego, and that university has defended one of its professors who's asked his students to perform their final examinations completely nude. A mother of one of the students says the professor told her daughter that she would have to get naked or risk failing the class. The class is called Visual Arts Performing the Self. The professor, Ricardo Dominguez Perverto, has taught the class for the past 11 years without any complaints. He said that students, wait a minute, do I have the name wrong? No, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I stick by what I said. He said the students have the option of being figuratively or emotionally naked, and they're aware of the requirement from the first day of class. UC San Diego has thrown its support behind the professor, which we hope he was wearing clothes when they did that. The exam takes place in a dark, candlelit controlled room. It's also the one exam where you were definitely embarrassed if you finish early. A number of students have voiced their support for their teacher as well. Make sure you note that, Scott. Up or down, should students be required to take the final exam in the nude? Steven Cruiser.
It's like, I need a rim shot thing here today. You know, as a creative person my entire life, if your art requires you getting naked, then it's art. Once you start asking multiple people to get naked, it's porn. Okay, it's flat out porn. This isn't a class. This is a reason for Professor Perverto, which you pronounce correctly, and you usually don't get the ethnic stuff right, to ask other people to get naked, especially young female college co-eds.
18-year-olds, yes, that's what we're talking about.
Come on, here. Because it's for art. It's for art. No, you're a porn. You might as well be doing this class in a hotel room up in Van Nuys somewhere, because it's a porn shoot.
Is this an academic freedom issue, Scott, or is this guy just perverted?
By the way, it's pronounced perverto. You got to get the little trill in the R's. Perverto.
Perverto.
Yeah, if he is running a modeling class, if the class is a nude modeling class, and that's the purpose of you sign up for that course because you want to be a nude model, then you know what you're getting into going into it. If it's an art class, how many artists do you know that compel themselves to be the nude models? You don't have to do that. And by the way, ages ago, when I was in college, art classes had nude models. They came in from outside. They weren't the students, and they were paid to sit nude for the artists who were the students in the class. Now, I don't think that's a great idea either, especially when you're dealing with 18-year-olds, but at least it's somebody who has made that decision and who is not under the authority of the professor and not subject to a career-ending injury should he decide to fail them.
That's how Scott and I met. I was a nude model at his college.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, the memories. Oh.
This brings us to our Facebook and Twitter question. We asked our followers if nudity should be allowed as part of a final exam. Here's some of your answers. Eric Joshua Wilkinson said yes. How dare they be nude in an art class? Certainly no nudity in Christian art. Got a good point there. Sistine Chapel. Lots of TNA there. Brown Spindle said, quote, I think the professor is deranged, and no, I do not think being nude contributes anything to academic excellence. And Betty Merritt said, no, that's just a dirty old professor trying to see people's bodies. This should not be allowed. And Dr. Cruton on Twitter said, opt out, not cool at all. More and more parents will just say no to that garbage, end quote. Thank you all for participating in our Facebook question. Now on to our second topic. Donald Trump has suggested that he plans to run for president. And get this, according to a new Bloomberg poll, Trump is currently in 5th place among potential Republican presidential candidates. The Donald leads Chris Christie, Ben Carson, Mike Huckabee, Ted Cruz, and Carly Fiorina. The outspoken Republican appeared on Fox and Friends earlier this week when the poll was first released. Trump said, quote, "The problem with the poll is that nobody thinks I'm running, and they may very well be surprised in the very near future," end quote. You may recall that back in March, Trump formed a presidential exploratory committee. So should Donald Trump enter the race, thumbs up or thumbs down? Stephen Cruiser.
Can I get an extra thumb? Can I have more than one thumb here, please? Many thumbs down. The thing is, though, this will be a story for 40 years after Donald Trump dies. He's going to run for president even from the grave. This is his little tease with the thing. But you're looking at look at the two names. It's Trump in a Bloomberg poll. So it's probably likely voters in the Venice Beach holding tank. Okay, so it's like it's so much silliness. Yet he's brilliant at getting the media to pay attention to him.
Scott?
You know, I think Donald Trump just for years has been wanting to say, I'm not only a client of the Hair Club for Men, I'm also the president. But he's not going to get a chance to do this. I think he should run. I think he should run for office, just like I think anybody else in America who wants to run for president and who is constitutionally qualified should do so. There is no other qualification. It's okay if you're a moonbat in our country. Even the littlest moonbat with no money could run for president. But in this case, we have a very wealthy moonbat. What he will do, though, is as he comes into the debate, he will give the liberal media an opportunity to take things that he says and turn around and say, hey, Scott Walker, hey, Carly Fiorina, hey, Ben Carson, hey, Rick Perry, hey, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, whoever else is in there. What do you think of what Donald Trump said? Do you agree with him?
That's exactly what will happen. And then he'll be at the debates. And if he's not running to win, if he's running to promote a TV show or sell a book or do whatever, then that kind of puts everyone else at a disadvantage because he's up there to be an entertainer.
Yeah, you're describing a lot of Republican primaries.
That's true.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
And the winner of the Democratic primary last time.
I'm not discounting the entertainment value of Donald Trump, but as Scott said, it's going to be, like, Governor Walker, what do you think of Mr. Trump's proposal to castrate Venezuela? And then and Walker will be against that, which I don't think he should be, by the way. I'll explain later. It's in my new book.
On to topic number 3. Self-driving cars have hit the road here in the state of California, and they've already been involved in nearly 12 accidents. All of the accidents were very minor, and thankfully nobody was injured. The main selling point of the self-driving car is that their cameras, radar, and laser sensors give them a better understanding of their surroundings than actual live drivers. Self-driving cars are allowed in Nevada, Michigan, and the state of Florida. So up or down, should self-driving cars be allowed on the road? Stephen Cruiser.
Can't happen fast enough. In a Cruiserverse, 7 people would have driver's licenses, okay? Most people can't drive. I live 2 blocks from the Santa Monica Boulevard entrance to the 405. There are 11 accidents there while I'm preparing dinner every night, okay? This is the self-driving cars. The one thing that's holding them back right now is they don't learn from their mistakes yet, so you still have to do pre-programmed routes. You can't just let it figure it out on its own, but the sooner, the better, that we take everybody away from the wheel except me and the other 6 people that I said I would give licenses to.
We could go back to texting.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, Scott?
I'd say thumbs up, although, as you indicated there, I have no problem with self-driving cars. However, when they start developing self-texting cars that are, texting each other, I think that becomes problematic. There's an old story, probably apocryphal, that in 1895 in some town in Ohio, there were only 2 automobiles. It was like the first 2 automobiles ever. And they were involved in a crash with each other. They ran into each other. I think I would welcome the idea that somebody is driving the car. Even if it's a computer. Too many times I pass people on the road and I think nobody is driving that car. Get some Raspberry Pi unit in there, plug it in so that somebody's driving.
I love the fact that this started out in California.
Yeah.
You know why it started out here?
Why?
Because we're the state that's home to Suge Knight and Bruce Jenner.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we roll the dice with computers?
Yeah. I'm biting my tongue on a John Phillips-esque line right now that I will not say on the air.
Uh-oh. That's okay. I'll get to hear it.
God bless you, my son.
This brings us to our Facebook and Twitter poll. We asked your followers if they think that self-driving vehicles are safe. Here's what you had to say. 21% of you said yes, I think they're safe and the technology will help save lives. 36% of you said no, I don't trust a computer to keep me safe behind the wheel. And 43% of you said maybe, it all depends on technology. I believe we left out 2%. 2% have actually been hit by Steven Cruiser.
But not in a car.
That's lower than I would have thought.
Thank you all for participating in the poll. Now on to our final topic. If you're a fan of the Olive Garden's Breadsticks, boy, you're in luck. The Italian restaurant chain is hoping to lure more customers with its new creation. Get this, it's breadstick sandwiches. Starting June 1st, Olive Garden will debut 2 breadstick sandwiches, one meatball and the other one's the chicken parmesan. I'd give you the Italian pronunciation, but that wouldn't work out. They'll be served on breadsticks that will be a bit shorter and wider than the regular ones that you get in the basket when you get to the restaurant. The sandwiches will come with unlimited breadsticks as well, so you can double and triple down on those. Cruiser, are you going to buy one of these?
For purposes of this show, I think I would try it just once. And I love how for every healthy action by some fast food, big food chain, there's an equal and opposite unhealthy reaction. They got rid of the unlimited breadsticks because they were bad for you. Now they double down, they come out, oh, we made a sandwich out of them. Dude, it's like all of fast food or big food chains are run by stoner chefs. Listen, I don't know, man, I got extra breadsticks. What do you want to do? Dude, a sandwich! Make a sandwich with fries. There are enough carbs in there for Guatemala, okay? It's awesome.
That's like pornography, having to be forced to watch
That's
this.
just a big middle finger to Michelle Obama right there.
Oh,
enjoy, America.
Scott, you going to enjoy these?
Well, you know, not personally, although my son will beg us to go to Olive Garden specifically and solely so he can have breadsticks. That's all he wants there. But this kind of news, you know, this immediately I thought, well, what's next? McDonald's is going to announce that it is introducing the sesame seed dinner roll. I mean, there's like, they're going to unsplit it, put it back together, and there will be no food inside of it. I can foresee the Cruiser family carbo loading with this before a big race, though.
2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. Look at that. You know what? I do have to say this. It does sound enticing, but I am a partisan to the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. Those are my favorite.
Chain restaurant thing?
Chain restaurant bread bowl.
I'll go with that.
offerings.
By the way, it's pronounced chicken perverto.
Perverto. Chicken perverto. Gracias. That's going to do it for today's show. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PJTV. I'm John Phillips for Steven Cruiser, Scott Ott, and Perverto. Professor Perverto, that is. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great weekend.